students. Today we are going to start with our chapter number 3, that is technical communication. In this chapter we are going to discuss about public speaking, presentation strategies, group discussions, interview skills, negotiation skills, and creative and critical thinking in communication. So today we are going to discuss about public speaking and presentation strategies. Now, if you remember certain speeches or presentations that you have attended in your life, you must have seen that not all of them are very interesting or effective. Now, when we give a speech or a presentation, there is always a purpose behind it, and our purpose may vary from topic to topic. Sometimes people give speech to create an awareness or simply give some information, while some other time they also want to persuade people. For example, when the politicians make a speech, they want to persuade the people to give them the vote. So there are various purposes behind giving a public speech or even behind giving a presentation. So when you have a purpose and you want that your purpose is served, then definitely you require to give a lot of time into the preparation of the speech as well as the presentation. So first of all, remember a speech that you found very interesting and effective, and you thought that whatever the person said, you really liked to hear that, and you also were agreeing to the person's opinions or views. So that means the person really made you hooked to the speech, and you listened to the speech till the end with interest. And then remember a speech which was very boring and you didn't like to listen to it. There is a vast difference between the two. Also, in your schools, you must have participated in a speech. Even if it is a small speech of 2 to 3 minutes, you already know that you require preparation for it. So let us see how to prepare for public speaking and for presentations. So first of all, we require to prepare for the public speech, thus the written speech, that is the content of the speech. So to prepare a content of a public speech, we need to divide it into three main parts: the introduction, the main body, and the conclusion. Now, what is the importance of introduction? In the introduction, first of all, we introduce ourselves, and then we introduce our topic. Now, whatever may be the purpose of the presentation or the public speech, you have to take care that your introduction is interesting, because introduction is like the porch of a house. If the porch of a house is beautiful, that is, if the front part of the house is beautiful, a person will like to enter the house. Similarly, if your introduction is interesting, then your audience will be ready to listen to you. Actually, they will start anticipating what you are going to say. So they are making their minds ready to listen to you for the next, say, 20 minutes or half an hour or maybe an hour. So what to do to make an introduction very interesting? So the first thing to remember is that never introduce your topic directly, but you must introduce the topic by giving the background of the topic, that why you have arrived to giving this speech on this particular topic. You need to give the background. Also, you have to give some real life example, and then slowly you introduce the topic. You can also narrate a small story which is related to your topic, or you can remember some situation that you may have faced in your own past which is related to the topic. So also, introduction should be short, but it should not be very short. Give proper time to your introduction. after you introduce your topic, you must also brief your audience what all you are going to include in the speech so that the audience is now aware about what all you are going to speak, or in short, you are just giving the agenda of your speech or your presentation. So coming to the second part, which is the main body. Now main body is the main content of your speech or a presentation. So how to make this content effective? Now here in this main body, you have the actual information that you want to share and everything about the topic you are going to share. But without a proper organization of your content, you cannot make it effective. So what to do to make it effective, or what to do to organize the content? So now to organize your main body, you can use various methods which are relevant to a particular purpose of your speech or the presentation. So first of all, if your purpose is to talk about maybe the history of something, or maybe the progress of a particular project, or the progress of a work, or anything which has events happening one by one, you will use the first method of organizing the content, which is chronological method. So as the word suggests, chronology means sequence. So here you are arranging your information in a sequential order of its occurrence. So for example, if you are talking about history of football, then you will start from where and when did football start, and then what happened year on year, or after, it will be in a sequential order of its occurrence. Then at the end you will talk about the present time. So when we explain anything in a sequential order, it becomes easy for the audience to understand and also to remember. So that is the first method of organizing the content, that is the chronological method. Now the second method of the organizing content is the categorical method. So again, as the word suggests, categories means types. So when you're talking about topics like say for an example, types of listenings. So you are telling different types of listenings. You are categorizing it into different types. When the information is too much, we have to break it into the types. Now the third type of organizing content is causal method. So as the name suggests, again, causal means it talks about the causes. So suppose your purpose of speech or your purpose of your presentation is to solve certain issue or to solve certain problem, then this causal method is used. So what you will do, first you will present the causes or the reasons for your problem, and later on you will present the effects of the problem or the results of the problem. So this is, in other words, it is also called a cause effect method. Now in the causal method there is also a problem solution method. That means in the beginning of your presentation, you will just present what is the problem, and at the end you will recommend the solution. It should not be the other way round. When you go in a sequence, it becomes easy for your audience to. Now the last method is the spatial method, S-P-A-T-I-A-L, spatial method. So spatial method talks about the space or the place. Now this method is used for topics where you are talking about different places. For example, uh, if I talk about interesting tourist places in India, so this is a special presentation where we are talking about places. So first you will talk about one place, then the another, without mixing them up. Or if you're talking about the architecture of a building, then you can start from inside to outside or outside to inside, and moving in a particular manner only in the sequence, not mixing up the things. So you are maintaining the space. You are going from inside to outside or outside to inside. Similarly, if for example, if you're talking about the design of a lathe machine, so rather than first speaking about the bed of the lathe machine and then the tool and then the base of the machine, it will just confuse the audience. So you should always start either from the base of the machine to the top of the machine, or maybe from the right to left or left to right. But whatever way you are selecting, you have to stick to it. So this is called the special method. So all these four methods, that is the chronological method, the categorical method, the causal method and the special method, all of them, they provide a proper organization of ideas. And when ideas are organized, it is very easy to understand and remember. So this is how you prepare your content. Now the second thing that we need to prepare is the delivery of speech. How you are going to deliver the speech, or how you are going to prepare. This is the written content you prepared, but now you have to go and speak that content. So how you will remember and present in front of the audience. So again, in this we have four methods of delivery of speech. So the first method is called the memorization method. So you deliver the speech without seeing any paper or anything. You just deliver it based on the memorization that you had already done. So for this you will have to read your speech several times and practice it. But there are certain advantages and disadvantages of this memorization method. So the advantage of the memorization method is that you will be speaking everything that you have written because you have already memorized. That means you will not miss out any of the point that you had mentioned. So the entire speech will be perfect. But the disadvantage is that if you forget in between, then it becomes very difficult to maintain the flow of your speech. One more advantage in memorization is that you are able to maintain the eye contact completely with the audience. Now the second method of the delivery of speech is the manuscript method. So in manuscript method, a person writes down the entire speech and goes and read in front of everyone. It is just a reading in front of people. The advantage of the manuscript method, the biggest advantage is that your speech will be perfect. You will not forget anything in your speech. So that is the biggest advantage. But what is the disadvantage? Disadvantage is that it doesn't look natural. Also, when you are reading something, then the scope of your eye contact with the audience is very less. Now the third type of the delivery of speech is the impromptu speech. Now what is the meaning of impromptu? Impromptu means you have to give a speech without any preparation. So sometimes all of a sudden somebody asks you that please give speech on this particular topic. So the advantages of impromptu is that you will be completely natural. Whatever will be your honest thoughts about the topic, you will be speaking at that point of time. And another advantage is that you can use your full expressions, your eye contact, your complete body language when you are using this method. But the biggest disadvantage of impromptu method is that there is no preparation time, and because of that you cannot even edit your speech. Another disadvantage is that if you don't have any knowledge of the topic, then you will be lost. You don't know what to speak and you will start fumbling, and that is the biggest disadvantage of impromptu speech. Now the last way of delivery of speech is extemporaneous method, or it is called notes method. So this method is very effective, because in this method you just take the notes with you, not the entire speech, but only the headings and the subheadings, or the topics and the subtopics of your speech, that after this which point I am going to discuss, or after this which point I am going to discuss. You will just take your notes with you, and then you will prepare your speech. Several times you will read it and you will try to memorize it, not completely word to word, but then still you will try to memorize at least the flow of your speech. And then when you go in front of the audience, you will start speaking without looking at the notes. Now, why you have kept the notes? Because if in between, if you forget, you can just look on the side like this on your notes, and then you will remember the flow of your communication and you will start speaking again. So that is how these notes are used. Now the biggest advantage of this notes is that, first of all, your presentation will be very natural. Secondly, you will be able to use the body language fully for your advantage. Thirdly, you will not forget anything, but at the same time, even if you forget, you have your notes, so you will not leave out any important information. Also, you will not disturb the flow of your communication. For the presentation strategies, we must always remember that the extemporaneous or the notes method is the best one. Now let us talk about presentation strategies. So to prepare for presentation, we can use these 3 steps. One is planning, second preparing, and the third is presenting. So in the planning step, what we need to plan? First of all, we have to be clear about our topic and our purpose. So the first step of planning of presentation is defining purpose. The second step of planning is analyzing your audience. Again, with whom you are going to talk is very important. It decides what content you are going to write. The third step of planning of presentation is analyzing the location where you have to make the presentation. What all facilities are available. Now coming to the third. Now the second step of preparing for the presentation is the pre-preparation of the presentation. That means that includes the content and preparing the speech. So both of them we have already discussed in the previous topic, that was the public speech. So first of all, you have to choose your visual aid based on the availability. Secondly, you have to take care that your visual aid, that is your board or your whiteboard or your presentation, it is visible to everyone in the audience. There should be no pillar or anything in between. If you are using the PowerPoint presentation, use very simple fonts. Don't use italics or very decorative fonts, because the audience will struggle to read what you have written. Now, very important thing. Avoid reading directly from the presentation or the PowerPoint that you have made. We make PowerPoint presentation for the audience to have the visual effect, but not for ourselves to remember. And lastly, very important thing, use pointers. Now by using the pointer, you are directing the audience where to look at. Now while presenting, another thing is the delivery of speech, that when you deliver the speech, how you will deliver. So for that we have already understood the 4 types of delivery of speech: the memorization method, manuscript method, the notes method, and the impromptu method. So we already know that the notes method is the best method to use in the delivery of speech. And finally, while presenting, the most important thing is your non-verbal communication. So in our last chapter, we have already studied about non-verbal communication, where we studied about kinesics, paralinguistics, and proxemics. So to just have a recap of it, for making a presentation effective, firstly, we have to define the purpose, then analyze the audience and analyze the location. Next, we have to start preparing by making the content where we where we take care of the points that we discussed about the organizing of the content. Then we will prepare the speech in the extemporaneous method. The third thing is, while presenting, we have to take care different points, that how can we make use of the visual aids effectively, and we have to take care of our body language. So that is all about public speaking and presentation strategies.